That was the president of the Wisconsin Family Action this morning when she walked her crews around her North Side office after it was damaged overnight in what police are calling a targeted attack. Tamia Fowlkes joins us now, and what are those details, Tamia?
Broken windows, burned books, and graffiti. That's what leaders at Wisconsin Family Action found this morning after their offices were vandalized. In their 16 years of operation, representatives of the anti-abortion nonprofit say that this is the first time that they've been targeted so aggressively. They believe the vandalism was motivated by last week's Supreme Court leak, indicating the possible overturning of Roe v. Wade. The group's president tells us they won't let the damage take away from their stance and will remain strong against abortion.
People who perpetrated this against us, that they're free to disagree with us, but they're not free to destroy property. They're not free to threaten individual lives and safety. That's not how this needs to go.
Arson investigators have so far confirmed that at least one Molotov cocktail was thrown at the office. Madison Police and Fire are still investigating this attack. In a written statement, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said the acts of violence, including the destruction of property, do not aid in any cause. He says federal partners have been made aware of this incident, and he'll have more updates to share tomorrow afternoon. Tonight at 10, I'll share more of an in-depth look at the damage left behind at Wisconsin Family Action and share more from group leaders on growing political unrest.
Question for Derek Johnson. So, Tamia, fire away.
Yes, President Johnson, it's so nice to speak to you today. Thank you so much for taking time with us. I was wondering that with your We're Done Dying hashtag being set to mobilize and encourage people to demand change and action in policing and governing, I was wondering what the significance was for you in deciding to end it on November 3rd, and how will you continue that work after November 3rd?
Well, thank you for the question. And so our hashtag We're Done Dying is the pivot for us to stop talking about the problem and become the solution that we're looking for. November 3rd is only a juncture in the advocacy for public policy. Without November 3rd, we cannot put the people in the seats who are decision makers, the policy makers necessary to implement the policy priorities that we have laid out so that we can, as a community, as a nation, stop dying. We are done dying.
Absolutely. And just a quick follow-up, I was curious, do you plan to sway or help people understand issues in a specific way by pushing this to be so centered around the election?
Absolutely. So if you look at policing in this nation, there are some big picture federal policies that we need to put in place. Qualified immunity, that is a law that was put in place, judicial law, that give police authorities power to commit crimes without true accountability. That's not fair to our system. Our nation has been held captive as a result of that recently. And so we need to remove qualified immunity nationally so that we can get police officers who are part of the community, who are protecting and serving the community and not negatively impacting the community.
It was 2 years ago this spring when the Stoughton Police Department used mannequins to curb growing concerns about speeding in the city. That will no longer be the case. Just a few months ago, the city's police chief, Greg Leck, asked the Department of Transportation to lower the speed limit on Highway 151. Now, the start of tomorrow's Highway 151 construction is what some community members say is a long-awaited solution.
But it literally only takes a second, and I've seen, in the 2 years we've been here, I've seen at least 8 crashes, and bad crashes. Like the thing where somebody comes out and they're either trying to go across the street, just trying to cross the intersection, or they misjudge it while they're trying to turn left, and you misjudge how fast the car's coming. Well, you're thinking, they're only supposed to be going 25 off around this corner.
Each roundabout will require overnight road closures for about 12 to 14 days. Tonight on News 3 Now, I'll explain why some people in the area. It's been 44 days since Russia first invaded Ukraine, and ever since, its impact has continued to touch the lives of people all across the globe, including here in Wisconsin. Today, members of the Janesville community gathered to spotlight the stories of refugees and Ukrainian citizens. Through a fundraising event called Music for Ukraine, organizers used fellowship, song, and prayer to uplift the voices of Ukrainian refugees.
This is a community event, and we want to reach out and say, we're thinking of you and praying for you and hoping for the best.
Through music, event organizers wanted to offer comfort and hope to community members. Tonight at 10, I'll explore the stories of families directly impacted by the crisis in Ukraine and share some additional resources to help those in need.
All right, thanks so much, Tamia.
On a cold, sunny Madison day, there is one thing that always can bring people together. The Dane County Farmers Market, that is. Making its official return this morning, the market welcomed an excited crowd to the start of the spring season.
It's been fabulous. A little chilly, but it's Wisconsin. We don't, if it's April and it's not snowing, that's kind of a victory.
After spending the last couple of months indoors, local business owners like Jeff Ford of Crest Spring Bakery are excited to return to the square.
But it's been really busy out here. People are clearly really excited to be back outside. This is where we make our living. Almost all of our sales come at the farmers market.
Many local vendors and visitors expressed their excitement for today's return, noting that in recent years, the pandemic has altered their market experience.
I really like seeing this many people out because during COVID, I feel like we couldn't all gather in this way. And so I think it's great being super close to everyone again and seeing everyone excited to buy local product.
The market season will run through November 12th. To celebrate the Dane County Farmers Market's 50-year anniversary, this year, the Hitch Your Wagon to the Market fundraiser will allow professional and amateur artists to paint and decorate wagons on the Capitol Square.
Oh, what an assignment today. Did you enjoy, was this your first time at the square, or was it, are you a regular?
I'm a regular. I love the farmers market. It is so much fun. It was so great to see everybody out in the nice weather today. So, love it.
All right, awesome. And I bet Dana is always a fan as well.
I absolutely am.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tamia Fowlkes, and I'm here to talk to students about how they feel about returning to classes for the fall semester. Let's go check it out.
I'm super excited, about being in Lake Mendota. I've already swam in it.
So last year I actually joined the Philippine Ex-American Student Organization, so I'm really excited to be a part of that in person because it was all online. So I'm excited to finally meet everyone in person and do the fun activities that they usually do for that.
There was a lot to do in the first week here, and obviously through September, so that's been nice to get involved on campus.
People for sure, being able to talk to people and be in person, like how I'm talking to you right now. I enjoy conversation and I enjoy meeting people, so.
Going to discussions and talking to my peers and my classmates and talking to my professors and not it being via email and just getting to know them through that and seeing their name on campus but actually meeting them.
Seeing everybody's been amazing. It's just fun to see everybody seems so happy being back, but then also actually being taught in person is incredible.
Because I had a whole year of online class for my freshman year, so I'm excited about everything.
I like just hanging out with my friends, watching sunsets, going down to the lake, getting food, just trying new places to eat too. That's always fun.
I like game day, and everyone's just really excited. It's fun that everyone's excited, and when you're walking the streets, everyone's wearing red and white, and it's really cute and fun.
Badger games. I love going to Badger game. My whole family comes. I'm from Wisconsin. I've been going since I was a sophomore in high school, and so it's my last year, so we're just gonna live it up.
Really excited to go to football games, so I'm excited that those are back and in person.
Maybe just make some new friends and play basketball maybe.
Yeah, I'm excited for when it gets cold and then it starts snowing, and then I want to visit Lakeshore and go walk and kind of re-see all that stuff with the snow all down it. And then that thing over there, I don't know what it's called, but the valley with all the lights, that jump looks nice. So I want to see it when the snow's going down, and then the lake, a lot of good stuff, a lot of winter stuff, yeah.
I really loved your sizzle reel, Rachel, and I had seen the interview that you did with President Vladimir Putin, back asking what he was afraid of in terms of addressing political corruption and really seismic shifts in that country. In those nerve-wracking moments, how do you keep your composure and push for truth? And what advice would you give to young journalists who are, nervous on taking on those scary moments, whether it be covering the insurrection or interviewing the president of a foreign country?
Y'all, I still get nervous. I know that's hard for people to believe. Sometimes every time I say that, I'm yeah, of course I get nervous. Anytime you're in the room. I think the confidence though comes from knowing your stuff, right? You gotta know your stuff. When you know your research, when you've researched, you've done your homework, that is the confidence that you bring. And so The Putin exchange, the moment that I had with him for that, when I was questioning him, that was another thing that just came it was unexpected. I went on that trip with ABC News, and our chief White House correspondent went as well. And we didn't know that we were going to be able to be credentialed to go to Putin's press conference. It was 2 separate press conferences. The president had his, Putin had another one. And so it was literally the night before the press conference when we got the credential. I found out that I was going to be in the room. That meant that I was one of the only American journalists in the room with Putin that day. I had to spend the whole day with Russian journalists. And so that meant getting my COVID tests with the Kremlin staff, at the host hotel, staying all day with Russian journalists who were asking me questions all day long. And so the night before, though, we were going back and forth on questions and brainstorming. And I just knew that there are a few opportunities to be able to pose a question of substance to a leader like that, where people in his country end up dead, missing, poisoned for saying things like that to someone like him. And so it was really important for me to press him on that. And when he didn't answer my question, to follow up, because that is what the freedom of the press is about. And so I think in that moment, it's less about yourself, right? And I think staying focused on the substance helps you be less nervous. I'm not in journalism because I want to be on TV every day, right? I'm in journalism because I want to get answers for people. I care about getting answers for the American people. I care about being in these spaces and pressing forward issues. That is the focus, right? And so I think as long as you focus on the substance of the questions that you're asking, the substance of what you're actually saying, the context, and really think about the words that you're saying, because words really do have power. I think that's an easy way to calm your nerves and to just really know your stuff, know your research, study, do your homework, and the confidence will come.